One of the quiet consequences of the Korean War was not written into armistice agreements or military doctrine, but into building codes, lumber yards, and the way timber itself was treated. The war accelerated a global demand for fast construction. Barracks, depots, emergency housing, built quickly, cheaply, and in enormous volume. What followed was a shift in how wood was milled, dried, graded, and assembled. Most people assume modern timber buildings fail sooner because builders don't care like they used to. The reality is more uncomfortable. Much of what we lost was not craftsmanship alone, but time, material patience, and an older understanding of how wood behaves over decades rather than years. To understand why a 150-year-old barn can still stand straight while a 30-year-old shed twists and rots, you have to look at what changed, and why those changes were considered necessary at the time. Historic barns were built to shed water aggressively. Roofs had deep overhangs. Foundations lifted timber well above ground moisture. Siding was installed to encourage airflow, allowing wet boards to dry rather than trapping moisture behind vapor barriers. Modern timber buildings rely heavily on chemical treatments and layered membranes. These systems work when perfectly installed and maintained. When they fail, and they eventually do, moisture becomes trapped inside walls and floors, accelerating decay that remains hidden until structural damage is advanced. Older barns rot visibly and slowly. Modern buildings often rot invisibly and quickly. The pressure for speed changed everything after mid-century conflicts. Military logistics demanded rapid assembly using standardized components shipped across continents. That mindset transferred directly into civilian housing and agricultural buildings. Lumber grading shifted toward visual uniformity rather than long-term performance. Older barns were built in an economy where materials were scarce, but time was flexible. Post-war construction reversed that equation. Time became scarce, materials abundant, and buildings were expected to serve decades, not centuries. Historic barns were maintained as part of their design life. Owners replaced roof shingles, reset stone foundations, and repaired siding as routine labour. These structures were visible, accessible, and understandable. When something failed, the failure announced itself. Modern buildings often hide their structure, making inspection difficult. Maintenance becomes reactive, not preventive. Small failures in stress materials can quickly escalate. Old barns teach resilience over aesthetics. Durability comes from material honesty. Slow failure gives time to respond. This isn't a call to reject modern materials. Engineered wood can excel when used thoughtfully. Ignoring old lessons isn't progress, it's amnesia. Old barns stand today as unintentional archives of decisions made under different pressures and priorities. They remind us that durability is rarely accidental. It is the result of aligning material, environment, and expectation. In an era increasingly concerned with resilience, whether economic, environmental, or personal, these structures offer lessons more relevant than ever. Understanding why they endured is not about romanticizing the past. It is about recognizing which compromises we inherited and deciding which ones we still accept. If this kind of grounded, detail-driven history matters to you, Subscribe to the channel and share this video with others who value careful analysis over easy answers.